Today I have my 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokee 5.9 Limited. It is for sale. I'm going to do a walk around, show you everything about the car, show you some of the quirks, features, as well as some of the condition issues specific with this 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I've had this Jeep Grand Cherokee for about 2 years. It's been my daily driver. Please excuse the plane traffic going on. For the majority of the 2 years, I got the car with 147.68, and right now it is, I believe, 168,382, I believe. So just put around 20,000, 28,000 over the 2-year period here. I do drive it daily. So let's start in the front. The front, I have a official Mopar bug visor screen, which I have fixed Jeep and 5.9 limited badges on, which are salvaged from a junkyard Jeep. I think it looks nice on the car. However, you can take it off, and there's a Jeep badge underneath that's original to the vehicle. And it does have the special 5.9 grille in fairly good shape. The original grille was replaced, as there was a rock that punched through here and dented part of, I believe it's the oil cooler, the front cooler. Still works, no leaks, nothing like that. Should just be transparent on it. All the headlights work. They're upgraded to Sylvania Silver Stars. Let's see what else has been replaced. This has been replaced. This is a brand new aftermarket. This might need to be replaced. I did treat these headlights to an official clean, but it does have some residue still left on the inside for that, so that has a crack somewhere. Going on the side of the car, a beautiful car. The Ultra Stars, 16-inch Ultra Star wheels, which were special to this and a couple other Jeep models from the 1998 model year to about 2000. They're in beautiful shape, especially for being in Illinois all their life. All their clear coating, they shine up real good. I just did a quick 5-minute job to clean them up, but the tires on it, all 4 tires are Cooper Discover AT3s, 235/70 16s. They're about a year old. Probably I have 18,000 miles on them. They're beefy, they're great tires. Before, this car had Michelin's on it. So just going around the car, it is a nice looking car, especially for a 98. However, like I said, this car was in Illinois all its life, at least according to the Carfax. So there is rust. There's some rust here, right by the fuel door, on the inside. Does take premium only gasoline, which for all you guys in the 5.9 classifieds, you obviously know that. It does have I think these are optional mud flaps, which some of the paint is coming off on these, but and below it is just black plastic. You can take these off and repaint them. They're just held in with Phillips head screws. Going to the back of the car has probably some of the worst rust on the vehicle. And it rusts out in the tailgate, where a lot of Jeeps, specifically ZJs, as well as I believe some Dodge Durangos from this era, do rust. This is the worst spot right here, and then it's starting over here. There is some paint scuffs, scrapes, and whatnot from assholes in Chicago for street parking. So that's probably the worst rust on the vehicle. Probably one of the more next egregious things is some asshole keyed the side of this car, and it goes right up here. I was going to touch it up. I don't know how well you can see it, but it is somewhat visible. You know, there's other little things, you know, dings down here, little scratch right there. Same thing up here. There's some bugs and stuff I didn't get off, unfortunately, with the car wash that I did today, which is my fault. I believe there's also a little scrape something here. Going over top of this car, it does have the moonroof, which currently does not work. I have not I've never dropped the headliner on this car, so I don't know if it's a track problem, motor problem, what. just never got around to it. So let's explore some of the insides and some of the extra goodies that you're going to get with this vehicle. So I do try and hoard and save everything that I can. So here's a headrest, which is the original driver's headrest, which I have a modified Mercedes-Benz headrest in its place for my, specifically just for my comfort. Comes with manual. The Auto Trader ad from the previous owner that bought it in 2004 from the original owner. I also have all my paperwork from when I purchased the car and whatnot, so you can see the original sales ad, as well as the original Carfax from when I bought the vehicle. Comes with the Haynes manual. Comes with the original radio. I currently have an aftermarket radio head unit that I'm going to be keeping, so this unit is going to come with the car. However, even though it has a downside, you will regain the steering wheel control. Steering wheel controls for the radio. Comes with 2 full keys and key fobs, or now, this Jeep came with number 1 and number 2 key fobs. I only got the number 2 when I got the car. This is a reprogrammed, just Mopar style key fob, which is programmed to number 2. So, unfortunately, I don't know about the number 1, but that system is a little quirky anyway on this, and it goes haywire and doesn't save memory anyway. So I would recommend honestly just disabling the little switch on the inside to disable the memory. However, it comes with the original window sticker on the car. Base price was $38,000. Let's see if I can get the focus. $38,275. Optioned out all the way with the tow package, and the skid plate and tow hook came out to $39,245 back in 1998. And this was originally sold to a dealership in Waukegan, so up north. $13.17 on the MPG using premium gasoline. Yeah, that's probably about right. Annual fuel cost, probably more than that. I have a spreadsheet running. I haven't checked from my last year of ownership in 17 of the car. So comes with an extra. This is the original one to the car. I have a salvage one from another 5.9. The automatic climate control unit, there is a slight issue with it, with specifically the air conditioning only. I got an extra quadra-track bezel for the transfer case. Extra tweeters for the front that are the original Infinity, so you get those with the car. This is the original belt on the car. It's still good. I have currently right now has a Continental Elite Poly V belt on it, which is really awesome, but just figure since that's still good, I'll throw it in. Extra door hinge pin on there, as well as aftermarket bushings from the doorman. I currently right now have a original Jeep one that I salvaged from the junkyard, which works a lot better because they don't shear the bearings as much. I think that includes everything. Comes with the spare tire. Spare tire is an original Goodyear. It's not an Eagle. What is it? Anyway, a Goodyear all-terrain tire, 16-inch, 225. I think it's 225 70/16. I believe, but it has a brand new Unistar on it. I think you can see from the side, this thing has never been on the road. So, pretty good. Let's check out that rust from the top here. This is the worst part, you know, but nothing has fully seeped through into the door. So, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's not the only rust spot on the trunk. Right up here, right under the rear windshield washer, that does not work. A couple things also do not work with the car is, as you can see, I'm pressing the button for the tailgate. This did work. I think the popper mechanism in there needs to be replaced. I was going to replace it, I just have not. Also, the rear windshield wiper does not work, but the fluid wiper does. So, new gas struts are on the inside of the trunk for the main lift, as well as for the tailgate lift that I installed. Those are about a year old. As well as I totally repaired the inside, so this thing opens up every single time. And I will recut the video here. I had to recut the video, but I repaired the inside, so this is always going to open every single time, so you're never going to have to do the whole Fonzie trick to try and open up the side. It is never going to go bad, I guarantee. Now, the other spot of rust on the car is on the bottom of the doors. All the doors have it. I have detailed photos, about 100 photos that are going to be up in a Flickr account, so you can see all of it. The rust is not that bad. For what it is. I mean, it's in a rust belt state for all its life, so it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We'll just go around to this side. All the windows work perfectly, rear and front. And there's the last shot of the rust. It's probably the least on it. We'll go underneath the car. Yeah, we'll do it right now before we hit the inside. We'll go underneath the car. Now, it's not as rusty as one might think. At least, you know, I mean, compared to you guys out west, it's, you know, it's pretty bad. But considering what it could be, it's not bad at all. Actually, when I was buying the car, this was the best one I saw in like 8 months of searching. So let's see. One thing that you can see right there is yeah, you can see right there, that is, let's do that. That is a brand new replaced starter on that, so that's brand new. Let's go back to the rust. This is probably the worst rust on the car right here. Is right here. Just right here. This, you know, luckily this plastic hides a lot of it from view, but this is probably the worst rust on the car right here. So, I believe this is also another ding spot here. Now this was on it when I got the car, and it hasn't, you know, through 2 Chicago winters, this has not gotten any worse. So, but it might need something that, you know, you want to look at. And let's give you a look on the driver's side, just because it's probably going to be on the rust. It's probably going to be somewhat similar. So it's probably the worst of the rust on the car is right there. And unfortunately, you know, there isn't really too much you can do about it. But, you know, luckily the unibody frame, unlike the Cherokee, you don't have to worry about it. So I am going to cut the camera really fast and get the hood open, and we can explain more about the engine. So I just want to go over some of the other upgrades I did on the car. So we got the underneath we saw we got the starter. Now, I don't know if you could see it through here, but those horns, those are not original Jeep. I put Cadillac horns in there. There's 4 horns connected to the 1 horn, and they came out of a Buick Roadmaster actually, but it's 4-note GM horn. Makes a wonderful sound like this, which is really loud, and there's 4 horns instead of the 2. So you get that with the car, because I'm not taking that out, and you need a horn. So you get the benefit of those. I do have an extra billet aluminum plate on here, which helps solve the door from when it sags, which is great. I don't know if you could see it from the back. You can definitely see it from the photos, but those are not original shocks. Those are Grand Cherokee shocks I have on the rear. They're replaced, they're probably about 1.5 years old. Rotors and brakes have been replaced when I bought the car all the way around, including the emergency brake, so those are about 2 years old. Going to the engine bay. It does have a K&N air filter in it. Let's see. Wires and plugs were replaced. I think they're Summit Racing wires and rotor cap. They're nice blue. Bosch Iridium plugs on the inside. Map sensor and TPS sensor have been replaced with salvage ones. They still work. The alternator was a remanufactured one. It works great though. That was replaced before I got the car. Here's that Continental belt that I told you about, that you saw on the inside. Works wonderful, does not squeak. Replaced this tensioner pulley, so no squeaks, like I said. It comes with a Duracell AGM battery. So very nice battery. It gives me no problems at all. Terminals have been replaced with brass terminals because the original ones were garbage. I have been running synthetic oil through this ever since I got the car, so before that I am not sure. Let's see what else. I think that's about it for the engine compartment and things that I have done. Yeah, we'll go to the inside now. Inside the car, the leather seats. Driver's seat obviously is the one that has the most wear to it. It does have some wear in here. Now this seat was something I always wanted to replace, and actually coming with the car is a full driver's seat, which I'll have photos of. That came from a salvage 5.9. That's in better condition than this seat. Right now this seat does not, the heated seats do not work on this seat, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Inside driver's door, everything works. Armrest is in good shape. The Infinity Gold audio system has been replaced, actually. At least the 4 door speakers have been, with actual Bose system that came out of a junked Infinity, and they sound awesome with the existing amp that is still there. Mats. This is the only all-weather Jeep mat that I have for the driver's side, which is honestly probably the most important one out of the bunch. Sitting in the inside, the top for the center console is still beautiful. Comes with the insert for the cup holder, so it actually holds your drinks. This is a phone mount that I had installed. It did come with this goofy Nokia system, but I ended up reusing the mount, and it's a wonderful mount for the unit. Head unit, like I said, is not coming with it. You'll have the original unit with the car, but I will at least give it some power and start it up. You can see 168,393, so I was a little off. Sorry about that. The mileage will go up because since I still will daily this car at least a couple times a week whenever I'm not driving my Mercedes. It does have almost a full tank of gas. Like I said, that's about to change. I don't know what the car will come with. Mirrors and everything work wonderful. So is outside temperature. All the lights have been replaced with LEDs, so that's wonderful. Sunroof is there. Like I said, does not work. I mean, the motor it doesn't go. Never have when the car. The headliner is starting to go a little bit right here. I've re-glued it multiple times, so that's something someone may want to take a look at as well. It comes with the soundbar in back for the Infinity system with a little bit of the headliner coming off of it. But overall, the car sounds really good. It is very quiet. I'll let you listen in. Air conditioning does work on this car. The only thing that is that would need to be looked at is that I don't know if it's a blend door issue or what. It's not, but it is not coming out of the bottom vents. So when I do turn it on, it will come out of the top vents on top, but if I put it to here, warm air is actually coming out of the bottom vents as well as the rear vent. I don't know why that is. I've tried my best to try and search down, but I usually just run it on the top vents, and even on the top vents you still have warm air coming out by your feet, but at least it's some air rather than no air. Heat works amazingly fine. It could get real toasty in here for all the warm winters. So I will keep going. Let's see, the Vic I did the repair on it, so it is not showing any of the errors. The pins have been resoldered. Glove box, everything else works great. So please bear with me, my camera is getting a little overheated, but I will say this is the back seat. Back seat is in excellent condition. Not many people have sat back here. I've only had a couple people sat back here only for a couple trips. The back mats are original Jeep Grand Cherokee and Mopar, but I believe they're from like '98. Of the other mats, there is a Jeep inverter mat on the passenger side front as well as in back. I don't think you can see, but there is a driver's side one that is a little worn and comes with the extra mats. Actually came with the car, which are kind of crappy, but they're yours if you want them. So let's go for a quick test drive of the car. Checking your startup. Car is a lot of power at 5.9 with the 345 foot-pounds of torque from the factory. Granted, it's probably lost some over being 20 years old, but it still is pretty good. Oil pressure is nominal, and everything else is great. The automatic transmission is nice with the leather shift handle. It is one of the things that on the car is an issue, is the automatic transmission. It does have a short problem, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And we were going up this hill. As you can see, it makes a slight sound, but as we get past 20, between 20 and 30 miles an hour, there's a momentary slip. I think it's a band on the inside of the transmission between second and third gear that's holding, but once you get past that and it shifts down and everything like that, it actually the car handles amazingly well. You know, even going at speeds above 60 miles an hour handles great. So it's just mainly that one issue. I have driven on it probably now for at least 4,000 to 5,000 miles with the transmission being like that. And as long as you just let go of the gas pedal, you just let it shift back down. I think it's a pressure issue inside of the actual automatic transmission. Then it's fine. I would probably look, if you're going to keep the vehicle long term, or going to take out any off-roading, to probably look into seeing about getting a rebuilt transmission or rebuild the transmission yourself. I just want to be 100% honest, at least coming out on here, that is a problem with the vehicle. But it still has a torquey front, and it does jerk a while. I'm going to pull back in here. I think some of the only other things on the car, at least mechanically I should say, is that there was a slight transmission leak. It hasn't been leaking as much anymore after replacing the pan gasket, as well as the shifter solenoid, or shifter solenoid governor, which has been replaced on the car, as well as there's a slight oil leak. And it does burn oil. I think by the rear main seal it does have a leak and whatnot. But anyway, this is the end of the video. I will have my contact information below, and thanks for watching. As a quick addendum, here's the seat in all of its glory. Very nice. Does have some wear on it, but is way nicer than the one that's currently in the vehicle. And that's coming with the car, unless the buyer doesn't want it. So, yeah.